promise.
Hi and welcome to the first episode of My Endless Wisdom. I am your host, Maddie, and I am very fucking excited to be here today doing this. This has been my dream for a very long time. I've always wanted a podcast. I have dabbled with sit-down videos and like advice videos on YouTube, but I've always wanted to have this as well. So for audio listeners, if you prefer a visual, hop on over to YouTube and hang out with me. You can watch the video. So let's get straight into it. This podcast will be a little bit about everything. It's a source of entertainment. We're not going to get too deep here. Maybe sometimes we'll see, but it's more just about maybe some advice that I can give to you from my personal experiences. And let's just help each other out. It's more of a big sister conversation, and let's just have some fun. So we'll talk about a little bit of everything. Like I said, advice, what it's like being a woman in my 20s, everything. Boys, dating, girls, pop culture, music, movies, art, literally everything and anything. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about on here, feel free to leave a comment, shoot me a message on Instagram. Everything can be kept anonymous. I don't have to mention anything, but let's get straight into it. I'll be honest, I have been kind of nervous to do this. I have tried to film this about 25 times. I'm not kidding. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. There's something about an empty room holding a mic, staring at yourself into a camera that is very anxiety inducing. I don't know, I am a fucking yapper until the cows come home. I could sell ice to an Eskimo, but if I'm sitting in front of a camera that's staring directly at me with a microphone, I feel like I am on stage with the whole fucking planet looking at me. But it's okay, we're here now, we're grooving, and I'm fine. So I have my little book here. I have some notes for today's episode. So if you see me looking down on it, that's what it is. So about me, I am 20 years old and I live in Melbourne, Australia. And I have my own little business called Maddie's Vintage, where I sell secondhand and vintage clothing. And I've been doing it on and off for the past couple of years, but I finally gone into doing it full time after a few hurdles over the past couple of years with trying out other jobs and things like that, and it just not working out for me. I think that has been a good thing in a way, that sometimes life will try and lead you down all these different roads, but it'll always lead you back to the one that you're meant for. And everything that is meant for you is already planned out. It's already happening in the future. Your dream life is already happening in the future. You just have to keep heading towards that goal. You just have to keep fighting for that goal. So that is what I have to keep reminding myself. So I've done all sorts since leaving high school. I moved away. I lived on a remote island in Queensland, South Stradbroke Island, and I tried to do my business from there, and I was studying art and fashion at uni online, and I was just really immersing myself in the island girl life, into the nature, and just having some time alone for a little while after finishing high school. I feel like high school is such a crazy experience. You're there every single day. Your whole life revolves around school. Since being 5 years old up until you're 18, then you're told you just have to go on and live your life. And you're like, what the fuck? I've been sitting in this classroom for how long? 13 years, and I didn't learn shit. So now what am I supposed to do? So I had a bit of a gap year situation. I mean, since then, you could kind of say that I've had a gap year. I'm 20 years old now. I'm going to be 21 this year. And I know what I want in my life. My goals and my dreams have been in concrete pretty much since I left high school. I know what I want from this life. I'm very determined. And I know where I'm going to end up, but everything in life is a process and a journey, and sometimes it takes a lot longer for others to achieve their dreams, and I'm okay with that. And like I said before, I'm 20 years old. I have so much time. I don't need to worry right now that I'm behind in life, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that being behind in life exists. I don't think that it exists, because like I was saying before, there's a timeline for everything. Everyone has a different timeline. Everyone is doing their thing, but your life is already planned out for you in the future, so you don't need to worry about being behind other people, you know? And that has been something that has been on my mind, especially this year, I guess, because I'm 20 years old. I don't have my license. My main form of income is my business that I run by myself. I don't have anyone helping me. So if I have a bad day or an off day and I slack off, then nothing gets done. And that is like an almost a crazy responsibility, because it's like, you know, I did dabble in having other jobs, and you know, you go to the job, you work 8 hours, you come home, you get your paycheck, and that is it. That's it. And having your own business is working 10 times more than that, 10 times harder than that, for like 10 times less money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get so much less money, but it's not about the money for me. It's not about that. It's about the dream and the goal and the lifestyle that I know that I want and I know that I'm capable of having. To me, money isn't really important. Like, sure, money is great and money can get you places and buy you things and buy you security. I just don't think that money can buy you happiness. And I would much rather do something that I am extremely passionate about and maybe earn a lot less money than other people than be doing something that I hate. So yeah, my advice to you is that it's okay if you're not really sure what you're doing or where you're going. It's okay. You're not behind in life. You're not behind your mates. You're not behind anything. You will achieve everything that you have ever wanted, and it's okay if you don't achieve it now. It's okay if you don't achieve it next year or in 10 years, you know what I mean? I think your 20s are for making mistakes and learning, you know what I mean? I think our whole life is that. I don't think you ever have it figured out. Like, I don't think any 80-year-old is like, I am now 80 and I have the full wisdom of being a human. I just don't think that's how it works. Like, obviously, the older you get, the more experiences and the more mistakes you make, and then you have wisdom, right? But I just don't think having it all worked out is a thing. You know what I mean? I don't believe in that. I think you have what you have your wisdom, and you make mistakes along the way, and then you get better at problem solving as you get older. But yeah, my advice to you is to just have fun. I have been trying to remind myself that a lot lately. Just have fun. Don't be so serious all the time. Life is not meant to be serious. And sure, there's a lot of things going on in the world that are quite serious at the moment. And not even just that externally, but personally. I mean, everyone goes through stuff. Life can be really challenging, and especially like after the pandemic and stuff like that, you know, life can be quite tough. So just reminding yourself that it's okay to have fun. You know, it's okay to take some time to do stuff for you. You know, life doesn't have to be so serious. It's okay to work hard and hustle and do all of that stuff and work hard towards your goals, but don't forget to relax sometime. Don't forget to go out with your friends and to go shopping, buy the things that you want, buy the shoes that you've been wanting to buy, obviously. With a limit. Like, don't go fucking crazy and spend all your money, but you know what I'm saying? I'm saying just allow yourself to be present in the moment, and don't forget what your goal in life is. And if you haven't figured out what your goal in life is, that's okay, but don't forget to keep trying to find it. Don't forget to keep trying to find it. Don't get lost in what everyone else wants you to do and what everyone else says that you should be doing with your life. Don't forget that this is your life. Own it. Take it by the balls and go find what is meant for you. Because it's out there. It's out there waiting for you. I promise. So yeah, my 20s, I'm freshly 20. So I say 20s with like literally a grain of salt. I'm barely fucking 20. 20 and a half. I'm going to be 21 this year. So I say I'm 20, but you know what? It's a technicality at this point. But my 20s have been like fun so far. I feel like there is like this sense of boredom when it comes to being an artist. There is this sense of like empty space in time, and I think in a way it's a good thing for me right now. There's nothing majorly going on fucking touch wood, because every time I say that, something bad happens. But this year has been quite peaceful compared to last year. Last year was an absolute shit show, and I'm not saying that for, you know, the reasons that everyone says, oh, last year was so shit, I'm making this year good. Like, it's not for that reason. I would like to think that I'm quite a positive person. And I do believe that there were positive things that happened last year, and there were a lot of lessons that I learned even from the fucking crap that happened. But last year was probably one of the worst years of my life so far. I know, poor me. But yeah, I don't know. I am grateful in a way for the quiet year that I've been having this year. I mean, it's June, so we're halfway through the year, and it's been quite tame and quiet and calm. Again, touch wood, because every time I say that, something happens. But I am grateful for the time that I get to focus on my business and focus on myself and just be in tune with my journey and where I'm going without any distractions. You know what I mean? So that gets us onto our next topic, dating. So dating in your 20s can be like really scary. I mean, for everyone it's different. I think in our generation now, dating has come down to social media, and it's come down to dating apps. And I personally am not a fan of it. I just seriously am not a fan of it. I am a hopeless romantic. I have watched every fucking romantic movie under the sun, and I can tell you, I do not like the dating app situation. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. I dabbled a bit in the dating app situation, and that's why I can say I don't like it. And I don't want to get on a dating app ever again. But it's scary, the thought of literally everyone's on there and no one's going outside. Where is everybody? Like, I say that with a grain of salt because I don't want to like manifest no one being around or like never potentially meeting the love of my life. But I don't know. I think I'm okay being alone, and I always have. And people say that's sad, but I don't think that's sad. I think that if you're not okay being alone, that's sad. Like, I think that one of the biggest things, especially in your 20s, is to learn how to be happy and content in your own presence. Like, of course, other people bring you happiness and joy. I'm not saying like never talk to your friends ever again and ditch everyone. I'm just saying that it's important to be able to bring yourself joy and happiness and be able to have fun by yourself. I think that's very important, because once you get into a relationship, the love that you have for yourself can be extended to that person. I just don't believe that everyone has to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. And like I said before, I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in love. I love love, and I'd like to believe that love is out there waiting for me again. But right now, I am okay being alone in this era in my life. I am happy working on my business and being aligned with myself and my journey. And like, I have a cat. Like, no, that's not sad. I fucking love my cat. And he doesn't cause me drama. He doesn't cause me drama and break my heart in 1,000 pieces. Touch wood, because he is a little bitch and he might do that. But yeah, with that as well, I think it's okay to not be out there or be out there dating. I think it's okay to not be on the dating apps or to not be out there looking, and everyone's different too. If you're out there pursuing, if you want a husband or a wife, fucking do that shit. Like, you do that. I think that everyone is on their own journey with that. I just think that I have high expectations now because of stuff that happened last year. I have high expectations with the kind of people that I want to have in my life. I think that I have a really big heart, and I think that I have the capacity to love just about anyone that I meet, and that is probably one of my biggest strengths and my biggest weakness all in one, because I can love just about anybody, even the people that hurt me, even the people that don't deserve to be loved by me. And that is pretty scary to think about going into another relationship again, because let's be honest, I choose the wrong ones. I just do. If one of my exes is watching this, I'm sorry, but I do. I choose the wrong ones. And I'm not saying those people are bad people or bad guys. I'm just saying that I have a pattern in choosing guys that are not necessarily good for me. I don't know why, but I do have a pattern. As when I go back and have a look at the guys that I've dated over the past couple of years, they're all very similar in a lot of ways. So yes, you could say I have a type. I think that I have a pattern. I'm trying to break that pattern because it's just not good for me, and I deserve so much better. And like I was saying before, I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than let someone with bad energy be in my life again. And that goes for friendships too. I think friendship breakups are probably harder than romantic relationships, and I don't know why, but they just are. I have gone through a couple of friendship breakups over the past couple of years, and I think that is a very natural thing to go through in your early 20s. I mean, in general in life as a human, I think it's pretty natural, but in your early 20s, I guess a lot of the friends that you probably do have are from high school or from primary school or just from, like, you know, your younger life. And as you go through your 20s, everyone goes into a different direction, you know? Everyone goes towards a different career and a different goal. Everyone goes their different ways, and there are a lot of people that do stay friends. I mean, the friends that I have now were from high school, and I think that I'll be friends with a couple of them until the day that I die. Really, truly can say that. Touch wood, because I don't want to jinx anything. But yeah, friendship breakups are hard, and it happens, and I think it's necessary for growth as a person, because if I look back at myself when I was 16 to now, that is a completely different person. And you don't really think it is because, you know, it's only 4 years and you don't really think that time has gone that fast. But that was 4 years ago when I was 16, you know, and if I have to think about it hard, yeah, that has been 4 years, and that has been a lot of growth and a lot of change in that time. So you naturally outgrow people because everyone changes and everyone's interest changes, and because we're not all at school now and we're not all forced to be in the same room with each other every day, some of us have just learnt that I think we just don't like each other. We don't have anything in common now, you know, we're not at school every day, we don't have shit in common, and I think that's okay. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not about having bad blood with people, you know, fighting with people or anything. It's about having the maturity to just say, it's okay, we're two different people now. I still love you, I still have love for you, and if you ever need me, I'll be here to support you, but we don't have to be in each other's lives anymore. We don't have to be actively pursuing a friendship with each other anymore. We're just different people. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I can tell you that there is nothing worse than a friendship breakup. Last year, I got the fucking double whammy. I got the friendship breakup and I got the relationship breakup, and all at once. And yeah, and that's what I'm saying about this year. I'm finally getting back to a place where I feel like me again. I'm finally getting back to a place where, like, being in a relationship isn't scary to me anymore. I think that I prefer to be alone, but it's not scary to me anymore. I think that it's good to have a small circle. I don't think that you have to have lots and lots and lots of friends for the sake of it. I think that having a small group of people that get you and understand you and love you and support you and hear you, that is the most precious thing I think that you can ever have, at least to me. That I have never worried about having huge, massive groups of friends. I just think it's unrealistic. And like I was saying before, the group of friends that I have now, I think I'm going to stick by for the rest of my life. I love them all very, very, very much. And it's okay to break things off with people that don't support you and love you and understand you and hear you in the way that you need it to be. And I think that is one of the most important lessons of life, is that you don't have to stick around anywhere just because you have to. You don't have to stick around in a friendship or a romantic relationship, or even with your family. You don't have to stick around and maintain a relationship with anyone if it's not serving you, if that person isn't good for you, if that person doesn't hear you and doesn't respect you. That you don't have to stay there. You can go do your thing. And that's what I'm saying about being able to be alone and love yourself and be in your own presence will save you when you do get into a relationship. Because when you get into a relationship and someone doesn't treat you right and someone doesn't respect you, you'll be able to go, fuck this, I can love myself better than this, I don't need you. And that is a good thing, because if you can't love yourself, you can't be okay in your own presence, you can't be alone, that is when these like toxic attachments happen, and you go for the wrong people. Like I was saying before, you get into a pattern of choosing the wrong people and toxic people and people that hurt you, because you're not okay with being alone. You don't know what is good for you. You don't know anything about yourself. You're just, picking the wrong people. You know what I mean? So, and all of that is a learning curve too. Like, you don't have to have all of that figured out. Like I was saying before, your frontal lobe does not develop until you're 25. So if you're like me and you're 20, you have 5 years. And even then, after that, like, you're still gonna go through shit that forces you to learn. You're gonna make mistakes. And I think mistakes are the most beautiful parts of life, because you learn a huge lesson every time, because you're not going to always know if you're doing the right thing. You're not always going to know if what you're getting yourself into is going to benefit you or hurt you. You know what I mean? And I think about all the relationships and friendships and everything that I've been through in my life. I don't regret anything. I don't regret the really bad shit that's happened to me. I don't regret any of it, because I think it's developed me into the person that I am today and into the woman that I am today. And I think that is going to extend on into greater years into my life. So we are now onto our pop culture segment. So this week in music, I have been very much into the pop girlies this week. Right now, I'm obsessed with Chappell Roan. I think everyone is, but I'm obsessed with Chappell Roan right now. And I am actually obsessed with Charlie XCX's new album, Brat. I never thought that I would say that, but I never have been into like pop music. I've always been just like into other stuff. And recently, I have just been like, fuck that, fuck being in a box, fuck putting myself in a box. I want to try new things. And I've just been like, if a new album comes out, I listen to it. If I don't like it, I don't have to ever listen to it again, but I might find my new favorite fucking song in the whole entire world on that album. You know what I mean? So that is very much like my thing right now, is just like, if a new album comes out or if I see something on Spotify, I'll listen to it. If I don't like it, that's 3 minutes of my time. It's not wasted. I gave it a go. But yeah, Charlie XCX's new album, I actually love it. It's like it's all club music. It's all like doof music, but like I like it, and the lyrics on top of it, like, it's fun. It's just lighthearted. There's a few songs on there that speak fucking true facts about relationships with women and what it's like being, sort of famous but sort of not, being like a girl in this life, what it's like being a woman, really. And I fucking love that. I think music, being an artist, even in this space, but like I make videos and stuff, I'm not a singer, but being able to just like be you and be unique and have, authenticity in your art, I think it's just, that is so cool to me, and that is so beautiful to me. And I just love that, like, Charlie XCX, she's just, and Chappell, like, all of the new girls that are coming in right now, they're doing something a little bit different that, like, maybe we haven't really seen before, They're doing something a little bit out of the box, and I like that, I like out of the box. And that's what I was saying before. Break out of that box. You don't need to be in that box anymore. Just find things that you like. You don't have to be one thing. You can be fucking a million different things. Every week, I'm going to give you my top 3 songs of the week, so you can go listen to them if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to give you my top 3 songs of the week. So in number 3, we have Messy by Lola Young. I need to talk about this for a second. Lola Young just released her new album. And, like, I don't know her, obviously, I don't know her, but I'm so fucking proud of her. Like, seeing her journey in music, like, I've been following her for a while now, and she had one big song that, like, blew up on TikTok, ages ago, and like I found her through that, and I've just gone through every single song that she's ever created and every YouTube video she has ever been in, and I fucking love her. Like I love her artistry, and that's what I was saying before about authenticity in art. Is just there's just something about her. I just know that she's going to be big one day. I know that she's going to be big one day, and I'm not jinxing it, but I just know it. I can feel it. You know when you just know, you know. She has it. She has that sparkle. She has that star factor. And yeah, like right now she's like kind of small, she's kind of big, she's got like 1 foot in a normal life, 1 foot in like stardom, but one day she's gonna make it big. And I tell you what, that girl can fucking sing, and she can fucking write a song. And like that's what I love about the pop girls at the moment. I think maybe from my own personal experience with stuff that I've gone through, I love someone who can tell a good story through a song. Like I love someone who can tell you a story and make you feel something through a song. Like I fucking love that. So go listen to Lola. That's Messy by Lola. Third favorite song of this week. Now we're going on to our second one, is Girl So Confusing by Charlie XCX. That shit, that whole album, like I was saying before, that whole album, actually both of them, Lola Young and Charlie XCX's new album, both slay the house down. Boots, Diva, deceased, but Girl So Confusing, there's something slight about that. And she also did like a remix with Lorde, and they're talking about like beef that they had like, in the fucking remix, and that was so bizarre to me, but also so cool to me. I don't actually know the lore of the drama. I think they may have had beef like years ago, when they were both popping off in like the, you know, like 2010s era. But I think that's cool that Charlie was like, hey, you want to get on my fucking remix? Let's like sort out our drama. They literally say that in the remix, something about like sorting out shit and sorting out drama like on the remix, and I think that's fucking cool. So I like the song Girl So Confusing, and I like the remix too with Lorde. Slay queens. Number 1, we have Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. Okay, I have some fucking shit to talk about this. Chapel is just like, oh my god, there is something about her. I mean, there's something about all of these artists that I'm talking about, but right now I am obsessed with her. And that song Pink Pony Club, I think I have listened to it about 1 million fucking times just like this week alone, and there's just something about it. It's very charismatic. I like it. But again, she is someone who can tell a story through a song, and she said recently in an interview that I watched, she said that she got sick of making sad songs. She got sick of like writing about sad shit. She didn't like performing sad songs, you know, it made her feel sad. Like, you're gonna tour around the world for a year and go be sad for a year. Like, that didn't feel good to her. Now she's making these really camp pop songs, and fucking slay queen, honestly. And they're all so fun, and that's what I love about all of these artists is, yeah, sure, they do have sad songs, and they're talking about some serious shit that we can all relate to in a way, but they're also like having fun, and that's what I like about pop music. And as I said, I've never really been into it. I've always been a rock grunge girly. I mean, I was obsessed with 70s psychedelic rock there for a fucking bit. I will always love that music. Like I was saying before, I'm such a music girl. I fucking love music, and I will always love music. But I was getting to a point with all of those songs, for a couple of reasons. I was getting like, you know, frustrated to a point with those songs and those artists that I was listening to, like the rock artists. One, most of them are dead and or retired and not making music anymore. So I listened to the same album, the same songs by the same artist over and over and over again 80,000 times, to the point that it was just like every time it came on I was like, ugh. But also there's something about, I think once I got older, you know, from being 16 to now, my brain chemistry changed a bit. I kind of got sick of listening to middle-aged men whine about shit and mansplain shit. Like, that's a very wide thing to say, but I was getting sick of that in a way. Like, yes, I love those songs, I mean, but a man in the 60s talking about something, singing a song about something, just like, was it really resonating with me, I guess? One, because I'm not a man. Two, I'm not a man in the 60s, but like being able to listen to these artists now, it's like I think I have something more to relate to in the music. Like I said before, I'll always love those bands and I'll always love those songs like The Doors and Led Zeppelin and Green Day. Like, they are my favorite bands of all time, but there is something really special to me to be able to listen to these artists now. And even like Taylor Swift, like I was never a Taylor Swift girly, but now I fucking love all of her songs. I think it's just like I've grown up a bit to the point of, one, not putting myself in a box anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me and what I listen to. Like, yes, I like Taylor Swift, okay? Like, what are you going to do about it? Doesn't make me a bad person or a person without taste. Like, you know, people have always got some argument to say. But I really like the fact that in 2024, I can listen to anything that I want. I can listen to The Doors. I can listen to Buddy Holly. I can listen to Green Day and Green Tea Peng and Lola Young and Alice in Chains. You know what I mean? I can listen to literally whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? And I love that because it's like whatever I'm feeling in that moment, I can listen to. But yeah, these girls, these three girls that I just mentioned before, in my top three, they are artists to watch. And if they, like, if Chapel and Lola, like, Charlie's already had a moment. She's already popping off in the pop scene. She has been for years. But Chapel and Lola, like, I will not be surprised if they're, like, you know, the new it girls in a couple years. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And even Sabrina Carpenter, she's fucking popping off now, like, which is so cool to see, because I had been like remotely like following her since like Disney Channel days, and like to see her finally get like the recognition that she's always needed is like crazy. And in saying that, to go back to what I was saying before about like everything that you are working towards and everything that you dream of, like your future life's already planned out for you. Like Chapel, she had gone to LA from her hometown. She packed up a whole life and went to LA and got this record deal when she was 17, and she tried a bit in LA and nothing worked out, so she moved back home to Missouri and she's been there for a couple of years. Now one of her songs fucking popped off on TikTok, and now she's like probably one of the biggest pop, like new pop artists at the moment. So what I'm saying is you're gonna get there, even if it takes you 10 years. You know, if it might take you 10 years to be an overnight success, you know what I mean? You're gonna get there, you're gonna get your goals. Just keep working hard towards it. You might trip over and fall down a few times, you know, you might make a few mistakes along the way and things might not work out, but you'll get there. And these girls are a testament to that, I'll tell you what. So yeah, towards the end of the podcast every week, I'll just tell you like my top songs and everything that I've been interested in, my tops of the week basically. So I've told you my favorite top artists. Now we're going on to my top 3 podcasts. So my top 3 podcasts are probably going to be the same every week, but I am trying to expand my podcast listening to everyone. But my top 3 for this week are obviously The Cancelled Podcast with Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield. That's my number 1. I think their podcast will always be my number 1. Like, the second they post, I'm on that video like every fucking week. I just love their podcast so much, and I love their dynamic, and I just love that they get on there and they speak their shit. Right now they are getting cancelled, I know, but not for anything that they did bad. I think like this society in this world can be really against like women like just doing their thing. Like, honestly, like, I'm not going to get too much into this drama in their podcast because I'm not a drama channel and I don't really want to be a drama podcast. But yeah, there's just been a lot of stuff going on with them. If you want to like get into that, then like go into it. But like, yeah, I don't know, it's really sad to see. Nothing that they did, but they're getting cancelled for something that happened to Tana when she was 17. She dated a 25-year-old and she's only just started talking about it now. And she is getting like ripped to shreds by the internet as if it's her fault and as if she had anything to do about it. She was a fucking child. She was 17. That guy was 25. He had a lot of knowledge in life. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are we cancelling her? Why aren't we cancelling him? And that YouTuber was Cody Current. So there you go. There's some tea. Maybe I should have like a drama segment. I don't really want to have like drama in my podcast, but yeah, there you go. That's just like the shit that like I know from like listening to these podcasts. I just like somehow have all this like weird endless knowledge in like fucking random pop culture influencer topics. So there you go. But we are on Tana's side on that because fuck that man. Fuck Cody Co. Obviously he's never gonna hear this or hear me say that, so I don't care. But what the fuck? Literally, what the fuck? Girl. Obviously, number 2 is just Trish. I think those two will always be my top 2. Like, I think that's just an automatic top 2 at this point. I don't think I can even, like, do a top 3 podcast of the week because they're always going to be in the top 2. But Trisha Paytas, my God, she has had both of them really, Tana and Trish, have both had, like, crazy career, honestly. They've both been the center of lots of scandals and drama and mental illnesses and lots of fucking shit. But they've both come out the other side of it. And I think being in this creator space and in this influencer space, it's a hard game. And sometimes once you fall off and you can't get that back. You know, there's been a lot of YouTubers from the era that, you know, people don't hear from anymore. And those two have managed to flip their brand and grow up. And I think there's something cool in that. And as I was saying before, like, you know, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to fuck up. No one is perfect. Literally. None of us are perfect. No one's ever going to be perfect. We're going to fuck up. Sorry, where was I? I'm back. I had to let my cat in. If you can hear a little bell, that is Biggie, my little evil spawn demon child. What was I saying? But yeah, with Trish and Tana, they've been able to flip their narrative and really grow up. And Tana did not come from a good childhood, and I think she is a great example for young women or women in general, that she didn't come from anything. She didn't have rich parents. She didn't even have supportive parents. So that she got adopted when she was pretty young by her friend's parents, and she's been able to turn that narrative around and make something really fucking shit into something really beautiful for herself. Again, I don't know these people. These are not my friends. These are just people that I know from watching their podcasts and stuff. And I think that, you know, as a woman and as another human being in this world, I think it's cool to see someone go through a lot and come out the other side into the light and find their purpose and be happy. I think it's really cool to see. Even if I don't know her, you know, she shares her life on the internet, and that's how we see it. But same with Trish, like, you know, I'm sure if you think of that name, Trisha Paytas, you think of, you know, a lot of funny stuff and a lot of crazy stuff. But she's managed to flip that narrative around on herself too. Like, she has a beautiful family now. She has 2 kids, Elvis and Malibu Barbie. Like, that is so iconic that her kids are named that. Like, I don't care. I don't want your opinion. I think that is fucking sick that her kids are named Elvis and Malibu Barbie, and her husband's name's Moses. Come on. What the fuck? That is so slay boots. Like, go diva. Anyway. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that Trish, you know, managed to flip her life from crying on her kitchen floor in her apartment alone to having this big, beautiful family. And, you know, she's finally happy. And I think it's really, really, really cool to see that as well. So that's my top 2 podcasts. And also Dropouts. I've been really liking the Dropouts podcast, probably mainly for Tara Yummy, but the other boys on there too, I'm kind of warming up to. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see if they stay on my top 3. But like, I'll still watch. It's fun. I mean, Zach sometimes like does my head in. Like, he can be a little bit of a yapper. I'm a yapper too, so I relate. But he can just yap about like, what are you even saying, boy? Spit it out. Anyway. So they're my top 3 podcasts of the week. If you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, go listen to those podcasts. Highly, highly fucking recommend. They are my top 3 at the moment, and I'm obsessed. And top show of the week. This probably won't change for a while, but I've been obsessed with watching Grey's Anatomy. So I watched Grey's Anatomy in year 12 up to about season 12, and then could not get past season 12. If you've watched Grey's Anatomy, so much shit happens in season 12. So many characters leave, so many good characters leave, and I could not get over that. So I went back and started from season 1 and went back to season 12 again. Then couldn't get past season 12, so then I took a break for a while. And last year I was like, okay, I really want to get up to the new seasons because it's still going. Like, it's up to season 20 now. There was a season this year. So I was like, I really want to get past it, and I really wanted something that has a lot of seasons that I can binge watch. So I started, but I didn't start from season 1 though. I started from season 12 and was like, okay, season 12 might be just a rough patch, might be shitty for a while, maybe from season 12 to 13 might be a bit rough. And I got through it, and I got all the way to season 20. I've watched every single episode of Grey's Anatomy in existence. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm so proud of myself. But now I'm back to season 1. Actually, no, I think I'm at season 3 now. But I started season 1 like a couple of weeks ago. Or no, last week. I was like, let's go back to season 1. And like, it's crazy because I think I took so long to watch from 1 to 20. Like, how many characters I forgot about, how many people I forgot about, because obviously in that time, in 20 seasons, a lot of people drop off, a lot of people leave. Like, a lot of people don't want to stay in the same show for 20 years. Oh, there's my boy. There's Biggie. So yeah, I'm back at watching that, and I probably will watch that for a while. There's no like shows like really popping off at the moment. I watched Baby Reindeer. That was fucking insane. That show was insane. I think it was mostly insane because the actor who played the main guy, it actually happened to him. It's actually his story. So that was like more fucked up in my mind. I was like, this guy is reenacting his trauma in the sake of people's entertainment on Netflix. Like, that fucking wigged me out a little bit. Like, good on him. Like, holy shit. Like, I feel so bad for him that happened to him, but like, good on him that he can, like, I don't know, come to a place where he can like recreate all of that for the sake of educating people about this shit that happens all the time that people just like let slide, you know. But good on him, because I don't think I could recreate my trauma like that. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, if you have any good show recommendations, let me know. I'm always interested in watching new shows. If it's long or short, like, I'm interested in anything. Honestly, I'll give anything a go. Same with movies and documentaries. Like, I'll watch anything once. Like, if it's shit, I'll never watch it again. But it's good, I'll watch it 100 times. Like Grey's Anatomy, you know? I just think there's just like a lot of shows that either just don't sound remotely good to me. I'll watch like season of it, I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? There's just no shows that are like popping off to me right now, like, that are really good. So if you have any recommendations, then let me know. I'm very interested. Anyway, we are coming to the end of the first episode of this podcast. Thank you so much for listening and being here. This one's a bit of a short one today. I'm still getting used to this. This is still very, very new to me. This is the first episode. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. There'll be a new episode of My Endless Wisdom every Wednesday. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you pop on over to Instagram, you can follow me and keep up to date with new episodes when they come out, and shoot me a DM if there's something you want me to talk about. If there's something that you want me to talk about on the podcast, shoot me a DM. I want to hear your feedback. So yeah, thank you so fucking much for being here. I will see you next week. Lots of love always. Bye. I know what I'm talking about. I promise.